guaranteed. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, Ali.
Hello, Helen.
So we're back for another spooky chat where we basically talk about the weird and unusual news, pop culture,
Anything goes. No, just anything
Literally
goes.
anything goes. We go off on tangents.
Yeah, for anyone who's just tuning in, I did explain in the last episode the reason why I have a giant fuck off plaster on my face. The monstrosity is still there. I had a piercing. Yeah.
I have gotten used to it now.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm not even really noticing it's there. So
Sorry, I've just got Mark in my peripheral smelling Germaline on his hands.
Okay, so if you listen to the last episode, my random fact was that I really love the smell of Germaline, and Goobs didn't really know what it was on about. So I just went and got it from my bathroom, and he likes it. He's actually put it on himself.
Like perfume. Fucking weirdo.
No, I love it. I might start doing that.
And because these are a week apart, it just seems like, you know, we're filming all of these in the same day. So that's why, I mean, by this point, I probably don't have the plaster on my face anymore if you were to see me out and about.
Maybe, yeah.
But in this episode, I still have the plaster on my face.
But actually, so they're listening to it in the future.
Yeah.
That's confusing, isn't it?
Time is a construct.
Oh my gosh. Anything weird happened to you since the last time I spoke to you?
Since early this morning, I've got a fucking giant plaster on my face.
Right.
And I bled a lot.
She did bleed.
That was pissing with blood.
Yeah. It was, well, like I said, it's a good job you weren't wearing white T-shirts.
Yeah, because it did run down into my collarbone.
You would have looked like a scare actor.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun, though, to do.
Yeah, it would be really fun.
I think we should do that one, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I might start applying now for Halloween, because see what's around, yeah. So I did want to say that, so on one of the episodes we talked about Living Dead dolls.
Yeah.
So now Amazon keeps sending me like things about Living Dead dolls, which is quite funny. But the other random thing I was going to ask you was what true crime and paranormal podcast do you listen to? I know that we spoke about this earlier and you're like, you don't listen to as many as I do. I have so many on the go.
I'm very much it's like with reading, I can only read one book at once.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like uni and stuff, I don't read for pleasure at all. It's just for, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the book, but I'm always critically analysing it. So yeah, I can only focus on one book. It's the same with podcasts, and particularly if you've started a podcast when they've been out for quite a while, you kind of start from the beginning. Well, I do. You start from the beginning and just work your way through it. So I'm only halfway through, probably just less than halfway through the Morbid episodes. So I listen to Morbid a lot. Occasionally, like, if Mark and I are driving somewhere, we'll find something to listen to podcast-wise. We listened to Scotland Yard Confidential, which was really fucking good, but that was quite limited.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
We did start listening to Red Handed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But we had to skip a load of episodes because they were, like, filming it in a cupboard or something. Well, recording in a cupboard, and the sound was terrible. And I can't listen to bad sound.
Just now it's fine.
Yeah. And then there's one with two people from The Traitors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so from the second series, Harry and Paul, and it's called Harry and Paul Are Devious, something like that. And it's basically, they go through like true crime things and saying what they would have done.
Oh, okay,
and
interesting.
It's actually really good. And Harry was phenomenal on there. So, yeah, it is quite interesting. You know, crimes that kind of failed and what they would have done better.
That's a really interesting way of looking at the topic. It's
a great concept.
Done quite a lot,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes they're really far-fetched. Like in one of them, they're like, well, I would have dressed as a bear.
Okay.
But it kind of, you know, injects that humour into it as well. You know, their way doesn't necessarily have to be sensible.
Well,
it's just what they would have done. Like it was an episode that was focused on a guy that stole 2 camping stoves and then hid himself in like a cupboard and put it on Snapchat.
What?
Oh, the guy was a fucking fool. But yeah, and then Paul goes into how he would have dressed up as a bear.
Amazing.
It's just really funny. There's been other ones that we've tried and whatnot, but yeah, I can, when it's just me listening, like I'm just focused on Morbid and trying to get us up to speed with that before I move on to something else. Because I quite like dark history ones as well, like, oh God, there's one with Greg Jenner that's really good. And so, there's ones about like people in history that you think are brilliant, but actually they were arseholes, like Charles Dickens.
Right, yeah.
He was quite an arsehole to his wife. Evil Genius, I think, was one as well. Yeah, I quite like dark history ones too.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I forgot to write it down, but so on the last Spooky Chat, we talked about Penny Dreadfuls, and there is a podcast that does tales, Penny Dreadful Tales, and it's told really nicely, and like the people on it have a really nice voice. So I'll send you a link to that.
Yeah, please do.
And when I remember what it's called, I will, I probably won't remember to mention it on here again, but it is really good, so I'll send you that. Have you ever listened to Jack Osborne's Ghosts and Grit?
No.
Because you like the Osbournes, don't you?
Fucking love the Osbournes.
Yeah.
That was like one of those shows that we would watch together.
Oh God, yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, brilliant.
So because he's done a lot of paranormal stuff.
Portals to Hell, love it.
So good. So it's great because he has a lot of people on who he's worked with previously. So he's had Katrina on, he has Cindy Kayser on quite a lot.
Ooh.
And I love her. Yeah. And he just does really good cases. Most of the time it's places that he's been to and experiences he's had. But yeah, that's really, really good. Morbid, obviously. I listen to A Paranormal Chicks, which I love because they do, Donna and Carrie do a true crime and a paranormal each episode, and then every other one is a listener tale.
Okay.
Which is really good. Well, they're called Sinister Sightings. And then, of course, the Osbournes, which is the freaking best.
I need to get on that because, I do love the Osbournes.
It is so funny. And then, as I've mentioned before, Paranormal 60, which I don't listen to all of them. I listen to the ones where Dave Schrader is doing, like, the 60-minute news thing. So that's quite good. Have we talked about on here the series What We Do in the Shadows?
Not properly.
Because we started watching it, didn't we? And I really want Mark to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to start it again and watch it with you because it's...
For sure.
Honestly,
it's so fucking funny.
The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
If I could have a superpower, it would be bat.
Yeah, I just turn into a bat. It's just
fly away.
Because I was like, I don't know, because the film was so good.
Yeah.
The series is fucking
Well,
brilliant.
it's got the girl that played Sophie from Statlet's Flats in it. And it's fucking fabulous. It's so good. She's so funny.
Oh, what's her name?
Nadia.
Yeah, but in real life.
Isn't it
Natasha. Goobs will find out for us.
But yeah, she's cracking and just Colin.
Colin Robinson. It's just, I need to watch more of Statlet's Flats as well because I don't think I finished that.
Natasha Dimitriou.
Yeah, she's fab. It's such a good cast and it's just fucking hilarious.
It really is.
It is.
But it has ruined the name Jeff.
Yes, and if you've seen it, you'll know what we're talking about. But yeah, you won't look at the name Jeff in the same way again. Jesh. But yeah, highly recommend that. And I think I'm quite far in, but as soon as it's finished, I'm going straight to the beginning and watching it again.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where you know that when you watch it again, there'll be bits you've missed.
And it will still be as funny as it was.
Yeah.
Like Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like darker.
Yeah. Vampires.
Yes, vampires. And that would be a cool thing to have. Bat! And just turn into a bat.
Oh, I'd love that. I get out of so many situations that way.
Oh my God.
Look, a distraction. Bat.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we did, in another Spooky Chat, we did talk about Blumhouse Productions rebooting Blair Witch Project. And talking about them again in popular culture, have you seen Worst Roommate Ever on Netflix?
I've seen it advertised, but I haven't watched it yet.
Because they're involved with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool.
So it's made by Blumhouse, and one of the episodes, funnily enough, features the group of people who were using Randonautica and found the body parts in the suitcases.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was quite relevant to like stuff we've talked about in the past, and I'm a bit obsessed with Randonautica. And so that was really interesting. And it is extra good because Blumhouse are involved in it. I did actually do a shout out on our Instagram if anybody had any Randonautica stories.
Yeah. Has anyone come through?
No, not yet. Okay. But if anybody does, please let us know. And also, we need to do it again.
Yeah, because that was a very failed attempt.
Yeah.
At yours.
Yeah, exactly.
New Year's.
I feel like because I don't know this area as well, because I've only just moved here, so I feel like there's going to be cool situations.
Well, yeah, you spotted that building that we're not quite sure what it is.
Yeah.
On the way from here to Ely.
There's like it looks like a big abandoned like factory building. It's massive, but Ali didn't sort of know what it was.
Oh, it's still operational?
Oh, it's not abandoned, that's a shame.
Oh.
I was
So we could have gone in there.
Yeah. We do need to do some urbex soon.
Yeah.
We do need to speak to Colin. And get
shout out to the Bearded Explorer.
Yes. Do you know what? I don't watch a lot of YouTube because I'm just not down with the kids. But I will watch his YouTube.
Yeah.
I love it. It's brilliant. So, again, going on and on about Netflix and documentaries, there's a really good documentary on there about cults called Dancing for the Devil. Have you seen that?
No.
Highly recommend it. So, it's sort of like about the kind of cult-like activities of a company called 7M Films, who recruited TikTok dancers. So it's very timeless, like very kind of the moment. It centres around a church who basically the members like give up most, if not all, of their wages to this organisation.
And I fuck that for a bag of chips.
Yeah, and it is. I highly recommend it. It's 3-part docuseries. It's really fucking good. It's bonkers. It's bonkers what happens to people, and then
it's mad how sucked in they get.
Completely.
They must be desperate for someone to just guidance, surely.
But see, with this documentary, some of the people on it, you're like, I don't think there was anything particularly wrong for this to happen. I don't know, perhaps they were just very impressionable, but it is a really good one to watch. And obviously, I do love cults, and I just thought it was great because it was a really modern day one.
Yeah.
And yeah, he convinces them to just completely stop all communication with their families, which is a very cult thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's bonkers. And it's a lot of so people who are still members of the cult, their families...
Oh, is it still going?
Yeah. Their families are talking out about it and saying, we've not seen so-and-so for da-da-da-da-da. And, just really good. So I don't want to kind of ruin it, but it's really, really good. Yes, that's the building, Goobs. What is that? It looks cool. It looks like it's a farm animal. Oh, okay, that's not that interesting. I thought it was going to be like a warehouse.
Produce animal feed.
Okay.
Oh.
There we go. So...
He thinks.
Obviously, just in case people don't know what a cult is.
No.
The word... Well, you never know.
Yeah.
People might not.
Right.
They might literally have stumbled across this and gone, what's this all about? Let's give it a listen. Don't know what they're talking about. So the word cult is defined as a system or group of people who practice excessive devotion to a figure, object, or belief system.
Excessive. That's the word for it.
Typically following a charismatic leader.
Yeah.
And according to Graham Baldwin, who runs Catalyst, which is a counselling service for former cult members and their families, he estimated that there were up to 2,000 suspected cults active in the UK.
Really? Because there's a lot you don't hear about UK cult. Well, you don't hear a lot about UK cults.
No, it's always the American ones.
It really is.
So I just thought we could have a bit of a chat about cults, and I was kind of, you know what, I get it.
There was a story in my crime magazine about a guy that's just been arrested. It was quite an incestuous cult.
Ew.
Yeah. I can't remember the story.
Oh,
but
that's
I think
great.
it's because he's been arrested. But yeah, his
Okay.
daughter's his mother's his niece.
Do you remember what it was called? Okay, interesting.
No.
So, randomly, when I was sort of going down a cult rabbit hole, which happens quite a lot, there was this article, very randomly, on Cosmopolitan Online for all of the. I wouldn't have thought it'd be on there, but that well-known spooky magazine,
Cosmo.
So they had like a list of the scariest cults of all time, and so I kind of went and just picked a few out, just because like I said, I find it fascinating. So is
my man in there?
Obviously,
my cult.
Which you need to do an episode.
Yeah,
on. So
I will.
I've kept it brief.
I think I'm saving my super cool random fact for that one.
Okay.
Just this little side thing, yeah.
Do you know what it is, or are you going to invent it at the time?
No, I know what my super cool random fact is.
Okay. So one of the cults, you've probably heard of all these. There is really, really well-known ones. So one of them is called Nexium, and it was started by Keith Raniere. I think that's how you say it. Raniere. Anyway, in 1998, and this is taken directly from Cosmopolitan Online, positioning the group as a self-help organisation with workshops and classes on empowerment.
To be fair, they're quite often, I think people see them as like a self-help thing initially, unless it's like a religious cult.
Yeah.
Remember that episode of Schitt's Creek with the cult and they, what do they call it? They're basically on bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And what do they call that cult?
Oh, I don't know, but it's bloody funny.
And I think Alexis is like to do like the PR for it or something. Yes. And then she takes all the girls along and they're like, no one else realises. Elevation, that's it. And he has like a particular phrase.
Yeah.
And she kind of figures it out and everyone's like, oh, sign me up.
Yeah, I don't think it takes a lot. But especially if it's things like empowerment. And so Nexium amassed more than 18,000 followers across North America until 2017, when Nexium members came forward to expose the abusive practices of a secret society within the group.
Oh, so it's like a cult within a cult.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So women were recruited under the false pretenses that they were joining a sisterhood of sorts. But
run by a man.
Yeah. But it ended up being a sex cult, because they always are. A pyramid scheme existed within the group with Rainier, who members called Vanguard at the top. So masters who recruited other women to the secretive group, and at the bottom were the newest recruits who were referred to as slaves. It's proper fucked up. Right? I don't understand it. Although saying that, I really want to start a cult, but I won't do any of this awful nefarious stuff.
No, it will just be happy, good vibes.
That's probably what they all say.
No, well, yeah. With lots of creating. No procreating.
No procreating. Meditation. Yeah, all those things. So another good one, well-known one, Angel's Landing. Have you heard of that one?
Possibly.
So it's the name of the 20-acre compound outside of Wichita, Kansas, where Lou Castro and a small group of people lived in an inexplicably extravagant life in the early 2000s. So not that long ago. 20
I guess
odd years
some
ago.
sort of money laundering thing going on.
Probably. So Castro's followers were convinced that he was an angel and a seer who could look into the future and know when you were going to die.
Of course he could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds legit.
So already suspicious of Castro's luxury vehicles and money that no one could explain because there was no paper trail on him, local law enforcement took an active interest when Patricia Hughes, a member of the Angels Landing community, tragically turned up dead on the compound in 2003.
Oh.
The FBI discovered, according to the Wichita Eagle, that Lou Castro was really named Daniel Perez, a man from Texas with many police reports, including a case involving sex crimes against 2 girls, 11 and 14, until he fled Texas.
Fuck's sake.
Through interviews with members of the commune, they uncovered Perez's sexual abuse of women and girls at Angel's Landing, including Sarah McGrath, who alleged that Perez raped her regularly for years. Sadly, she was one of his many victims. More witnesses came forward accusing Perez of abuse and pointing to him for the murder of Patricia Hughes. Perez was charged with 28 felonies, and in February 2015 he was convicted on all counts and sentenced to 80 years in prison.
Good. Die in there, motherfucker.
Why do they just suddenly stop with the sex cults? That's not going to be part of my cult.
No.
It's just
because
why?
I know.
So then,
I think that's what it all comes down to. It's these fucking twats.
what were you trying to
I
say?
don't know. These fucking twats that just basically want to rule over women.
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to that.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, they lure them in somehow with their charm, their charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent. Sorry, that's a Drag Race thing as well. But do you know what I mean? It's just like I hate them.
Okay. I'll tell you about another one then. Which
Yeah,
you
go for
probably
it.
will have heard of this one. Children of God,
Yeah.
initially called Teens for Christ, was founded in 1968 by rogue preacher David Berg in Huntington Beach. So many of this shit happens in Los Angeles, sort of around that, Los Angeles County, California. Attracting young runaways and hippies, Berg preached a kind of worship that combined the ways of Jesus Christ with the free love movement of the 60s. Group living.
Group sex, probably.
Probably. Zealous. Oh my God, what is that word? Zealous proselytizing. Proselytizing?
I don't know. I need to look at it.
We need to find out what proselytizing means. Proselytizing.
Oh, it's a Z because that's proselytizing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The action of attempting to convert someone from one religion, belief, or opinion to another.
Oh,
okay, fine.
Okay, we learnt something today.
Yeah. And isolated communes were all pillars of the church, of the Children of God Church. Members who amounted to 15,000 people across the world at its peak didn't work or go to school. I don't know why.
Again, it's control.
Yeah, absolutely. The Children of God didn't believe in the nuclear family, so children were grouped together and lived separately from their parents. I remember seeing a documentary on this. Former members began coming forward in the early 90s, describing an environment that permitted and encouraged the physical and sexual abuse of young children.
There you go. There it is.
For every fucking time. Ricky Dupuy appeared on a talk show in 1993 and revealed that he'd been ordered by the group to rape a 10-year-old. Dupuy later committed suicide, like many other members of the group, including Berg's son, Ricky Rodriguez, who was sexually abused throughout his life by his father and the group.
Oh.
It's so vile. Although Berg died in 1994 whilst under FBI investigation, the Children of God cult continues to exist.
No.
And now goes by the name Family International. Although the group claims that the horrific practices are a thing of the past, you can watch a whole documentary called Children of God on Netflix, which is very good. And for some former famous members who you will know very well, Rose McGowan and River Phoenix.
No.
Yeah, their families were members of it, so they obviously got out, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Have they ever spoken about it, do you know?
I remember reading somewhere, because River Phoenix did used to mention it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much detail he went into, because I think awful things would have happened to them.
Oh, God.
So then we've got the Church of the Lamb of God, dubbed by the media as the Mormon Mansion. Oh no, The Mormon Manson. Mormon Manson.
Okay.
Not mansion, but they could have been in a mansion. I haven't
could have.
my brain. So it was started by Ervil LeBaron in Chihuahua, Mexico. Amazing.
Sorry, it gets more ridiculous with each word you're saying.
After he clashed and left his brother Joel's sect.
After he clashed?
Yeah, he clashed with his brother and left his brother was called Joel, left his sect. LeBaron convinced his followers that he received direct instructions from God, which included using the abandoned Mormon doctrine, blood atonement, that allows the killing of sinners to cleanse them of evil.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
Yeah. So LeBaron had 51 children with 13 different wives, and over 2 decades amassed hundreds of followers who allegedly murdered more than 20 people on behalf of LeBaron and his orders.
Yeah, okay, Mormon Manson. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Mansons were fucking terrible, but they, it was one victim, which is still fucking horrendous, and the whole thing is absolutely fucking horrendous.
I will mention a little bit of that in a minute. But so Mexican authorities arrested LeBaron in 1979 and handed him over to the FBI, where he was charged for the murder of another polygamous sect leader and jailed for life in Utah.
Did he sexually abuse his kids?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
Although LeBaron died in prison in 1981, his reign of terror still persisted for several years as he left behind a hit list of people he believed were traitors.
No.
So bonkers.
Just how can you be that... I mean, don't get me wrong, I know how people can be vulnerable, but that fucking vulnerable. But I suppose people are just desperate for something to believe in.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sort of like, I guess, this sort of thing happens over time. It's like coercive control, there's gaslighting, but it's like just...
Grooming.
All the things happening, and then eventually, I mean, it must be... It must be so... And also, the thing, people join these cults, they break ties with their families, their friends, they give
Completely
the cults
isolated.
all their money.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do you get yourself out then?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So
you're fucking stuck, and if you get out...
They do make it
Brilliant.
so you completely rely on them, don't they? So then you've got the Manson family. And obviously you don't need to know much about true crime to know the name Charles Manson, which almost 50 years after his most heinous acts is still synonymous with a cult leader.
I want to say, didn't Marilyn Manson give himself that stage name after like 2 of the most famous people in the world? One was Marilyn Monroe and one was Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Manson started his group in San Francisco in 1967 and later that year moved to Los Angeles, where he tried and failed to establish himself as a musician. Manson became obsessed with the Beatles' song Helter Skelter and started using the term to describe a race war he believed would usher in the apocalypse. And in August of 1969, he sent a group of his followers to a house in Benedict Canyon and told them to kill everyone inside. The victims included actress Sharon Tate, then married to Roman Polanski, and celebrity hairdresser Jay Sebring.
And not to mention her unborn child.
Exactly. The next night, Manson's followers murdered Rosemary and Leno LaBianca at their home in Los Feliz. Some people believe Manson ordered the murders because he thought it would kickstart his helter-skelter concept, while others think he believed the Tate house still belonged to a music producer who refused to give him a record deal. Still, others claim that the murders were the Manson family's attempt at copycat murders designed to get their friend out of jail. No matter the motive, though, commentators at the time saw the murders as the official end of the 1960s culture of free love.
Yeah.
The story has
fucking ruined it, didn't they?
Yeah, since inspired dozens of books, films, and documentaries, and Ali will delve into that one day.
I certainly will.
Excited about that.
They wrote some stuff on the walls, and I think one of them wrote Helter Skelter, but they misspelt it, and it said like something completely different.
Oh, you can tell us when you do a thing on it.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Sorry, that looked like I was about to touch me, but I was just trying to move my hand down past the mic.
In like a weird way.
See?
So I've got a few more, and then but I just find it so fascinating. That's interesting and fascinating. So in the 1950s, this is another big one. Indiana native Jim Jones founded People's Temple, a church that he claimed promoted socialism and equality with religious elements of Christianity.
Is this the Kool-Aid one?
Yes. Yes, this is. I've seen quite a few documentaries on this. Again, it's absolutely fascinating. Initially, he was a little more than a charismatic hustler who faked faith healings by having audiences. This doesn't make any sense.
Audience members,
yeah, I've missed out members. So people planted in the audience to pull chicken livers out of congregants' mouths.
Or was that supposed to be like a bad spirit or something?
Maybe.
Or the badness? Wait, hang on. So they must have had quite a few people planted. Someone to pull the chicken liver out, someone who's already holding the chicken liver in their mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a whole thing. But as the years progressed, he demanded more of followers. In the early 1970s, Jones moved his group to California and set them up in a commune-like settlement in Redwood Valley. Jones eventually came to believe that nuclear war was imminent and moved his followers again to the South American county of Guyana, which he thought would be outside the potential danger zone. The group lived there for several years as the People's Temple agricultural project. But after former members started speaking out against the church, San Francisco Congressman Leo Ryan decided to travel to Jonestown to investigate claims of abuse. Temple security guards opened fire on Ryan's group, and back at the settlement, Jones ordered his followers to drink a cyanide-laced beverage. This is where the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid originates. A total of 918 people died in the incident.
Fuck me.
And until 9/11, it was the largest loss of American civilian life in history.
Jesus.
So mad. It's just like...
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Like I said, I have seen quite a few documentaries, and they do show like aerial photographs of the compound, and all the people just literally to come out of this room just all lined out. It's just absolutely awful. It doesn't seem real. It's really
on a scale like that,
yeah,
because it's not normal,
not at all. And then the last one I'm going to talk about, again from Cosmopolitan Online, Heaven's Gate.
Everyone's heard of Heaven's Gate.
That was founded by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles in the 1970s. Heaven's Gate was, I don't know how you say this, ascetic cult that had a complicated belief system involving aliens, spaceships, and an imminent recycling of the planet Earth. After Nettles died...
Planet Earth's going to be recycled?
1985, Applewhite took the group to even further extremes, and in 1997, he began claiming that a spacecraft was following the Hale-Bopp comet. I remember that, Hale-Bopp comet. This spacecraft would carry the Heaven's Gate members to the next level of existence. While living in a rented home in San Diego, Applewhite and 38 followers died by suicide by taking phenobarbital mixed with applesauce. They all wore the same uniform.
Let's make death taste nice.
This tastes nice. So they all wore the same uniform and Nike shoes and had $5.75 in their pockets. As of today, the Heaven's Gate website still exists and is maintained by 2 of the group's followers.
So it's still a thing?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could go on because... we covered in our first episode... Waco, David Koresh, which is... that is a very interesting one because, yes, there was nefarious things happening, but then the way it was approached by authorities wasn't ideal. So it's quite an interesting one. Go and listen to that if you haven't heard it.
Again, it just baffles me that people can be so sucked in.
Yeah, I mean, I do still want to start a cult.
But it wouldn't be a cult as people think of cults. Because
No.
instantly, like, you speak, you talk about cults and instantly your mind goes to, like, things like Heaven's Gate.
Yes.
And the Manson family and all of that lot. So it's just got negative connotations with that
We can
word.
change that.
But we could change that.
We can change that. And
No touching children, especially.
no, absolutely not.
Number one rule.
Nothing like that. And I have sort of a few shout outs on Insta threads. Mm-hmm. A couple of people have sort of expressed an interest in joining as long as there's snacks. So
As long as there's snacks.
yeah.
When we were speaking to Alex last night, did she not want to wear the tracksuit?
I don't know, but she doesn't have to.
Yeah, Alex can wear what she wants because
Just
Queen.
All of us top people have to wear black.
Yeah.
And then it goes down in colours.
Yeah.
I don't know what the colours mean yet. I haven't decided yet, but
I mean, I probably will live in trackies or pyjamas.
well, that's fine because our uniform is going to be an Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form, because Adidas does so many tracksuits. We love Adidas. I'm perfectly happy to just wear that for the rest of my life.
Get them to bring out some old 90s stuff again, like poppers.
You can buy them.
Are they still a thing?
Yes, I have some in my cupboard.
Do you? Have I seen them?
I've definitely worn them. You can buy so many colours of popper trousers.
Oh.
They do like an aqua colour. They do, yeah. They brought them back ages ago.
Oh, well, holy shitballs. Why do I not own a pair?
The director of Goblin bought me a pair for my birthday because he was like, "You're such a chav, you need this in your life." So he bought me a pair.
Listen, I'll get I'll get rid of an old pair of tracksuits and then I will tracksuit bottoms and then I'll buy some popper ones.
They're so comfy as well.
Yeah.
And if it's quite warm, it's breezy.
Yeah, you just open the pops and then they're like giant flares.
Yeah. Just like,
See, it's a 2-in-1 trouser.
yeah.
Can't argue with that. You're getting 2 pairs for one.
Yeah, you're talking to Goobs as if he doesn't know what they are. He's like,
No, it's not that. I'm just pleading my case. He's a 90s kid.
So bottom line is I feel like we still can have a cult. It just isn't going to be any like any of these crazy fucking lunatics.
No, we just believe in happy vibes and creating and
Meditation and snacks and dogs.
And snacks and dogs. Not dogs as snacks.
No, absolutely not. Rock and roll and some cool cars.
Yeah.
So.
And you can do whatever you fucking want, but nothing illegal.
Yeah. And obviously Goobs wants to ride a lawnmower around.
Absolutely, he can.
Driving and that.
Driving about and that.
Yeah.
That is his favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
And sniff behind Eddie's ear.
Well, and now sniff Germaline as well.
Yeah.
Fucking converted. I love that he's actually put it on his skin like a perfume balm.
Yeah, like perfume stick.
Yeah. I might do that. I know I was earlier.
I sell perfume sticks.
Yeah, but I might put Germaline behind my ears.
Oh, you smell so medicinal.
I don't know what it is.
It's almost as good as I like your sleeves.
You smell so clean. Yeah.
We used to at the mortuary. Obviously, we have to use special stuff to clean, and the old mortuary I worked in, it's called BioGuard. It's really good stuff. It's what I was washed with when I got splattered. And and we had one that smelled like bubble gum.
Oh.
And it was amazing.
See, I like that idea. However, I like my clinically clean stuff to smell clinically clean. And that has a smell. And that is like a Germaline, Savlon, TCP...
Bleach.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I bleach everything all the time anyway, so... But, yeah, I'm going to get a bottle of TCP as a treat.
Just to open up and have a sniff.
Yeah. I'm not condoning any kind of solvent abuse, by the way. I just really
I was gonna say, we need to be careful where you're going with this, health.
Of TCP, Germaline,
you could put it on, like those perfume tester things. And then just waft it about.
Just like... People come around and be like, why the fuck does your house smell of TCP? Because
I'm
it is
wafting.
strong. TCB is very strong.
Just wafting.
Wafting around. I like it. But then I also like the smell of petrol and WD-40.
I do not like the smell of petrol.
I don't know how you can't like the smell. Do you like the smell of petrol, Goobs? Yeah, it's a lovely smell.
I don't get it. Don't get it. Same with things like acetone.
No, I don't like acetone. Two-stroke, baby. Abso-freaking-lutely.
What's two-stroke? Is that a type of petrol, I'm guessing?
So,
Is that the... Oh, no.
how do I explain that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Please don't worry about it.
It's got a different smell, though.
Okay.
It has got a different smell. And then, yeah, WD-40. If... Go sniff a chainsaw. Yeah.
You go fucking sniff a chainsaw.
And quite a few motorcycles have like two strokes, don't they? And they've got like a certain smell. And if if you've got like a classic car, like a proper classic car, and they will sometimes put like additives and things in the fuel, and it's got different smell to it. It smells great.
No tar.
And then WD-40, which I really want them to make a perfume.
Don't think that's going to happen because a lot of people will not want to smell like WD-40 themselves.
I do.
But then to be fair, I always kind of wanted a car smell, like a car air freshener that either that smelled like chips from a chippy that was like rolled up in the paper stuff, because that's like one of the best smells in the world, like with all the vinegar on there as well.
It is a good smell.
Yeah. I'd love that.
But
I would be hungry all the time.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah.
I might just get like because I don't like air fresheners, they give me migraines. But I might make my own with TCP.
Yeah, but would it be? But that would be so potent, and it would just stay in your car. Would that not end up giving you a headache?
TCP, no.
Okay.
No, my migraines are very particular. They don't like Dior perfumes. That sets me right off. I don't know what it is, but like instantly I'm like, oh no.
They sell in China anyway, so you don't want to buy Dior.
No, exactly. We don't.
Because there will be testing on animals
Yeah,
for that.
don't buy anything. No one testing on animals. Definitely not.
Absolutely.
Have you got anything else to say about cults or germaline or
The cult of Germaline.
shout out
Germaline
to
cult.
Eden's Gate?
Cult on Far Cry 5. Oh.
Oh, okay. I don't know what any of this means. Is that a
Far
computer
Cry
game?
is a computer game.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and there's a cult in that as well. Okay. Do we know what their values are? Can we learn anything from them, or are they nefarious as well? Oh, okay. Preparing for
The apocalypse.
Preppers. Okay.
Laurie Vallow. She was part of a cult, weren't she? That was a religious thing. Was it? Or did she just marry that weird geezer? That was like...
I can't... The name rings a bell, but...
She killed her two kids.
Oh,
Taylor and JJ.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was a cult, but that was a massive religious thing.
Okay.
Laurie Vallow. Daybell. Yeah, Chad Daybell. That's who she married. And
Chad Daybell.
Hey, my name's Chad.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. I think it was just like she was overly fucking religious. And
Yeah,
it's something about she was told by some sort of fucking angel or something to kill her kids. I can't remember.
Doomsday cult.
That's
maybe.
it. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that is
I think you get quite a lot of doomsday cults, but like not in a bad way. Like it's just people building bunkers and storing tins of food.
Which you can fucking understand. But I will say I was a bit like, oh, I can't wait for the apocalypse because, I'm going to dress up like Tank Girl and it's going to be like that. Or...
It will not be like that.
No, or like Mad Max Fury Road. Then the pandemic hit. The clothes were not apocalyptic. Everyone was just wearing pyjamas all the time.
Yeah.
And there was loo roll shortages. We weren't all driving round in fucking crazy V8s, like, with spears and stuff.
Well, for starters, we're not in a desert.
No. But I just thought there might be some of that, and there was none of it.
Well, no, because there was still a lot of people, like, living.
No, I know, that's
Whereas
what I mean.
things
So
like Mad Max,
basically the world was going into meltdown and it didn't have an aesthetic.
no,
It was fucking shit.
yeah. And
So
we had Bojo controlling us.
just all the shit stuff. And I feel like if you'd have, well, you weren't allowed to go out, so you couldn't even go out dressed up like a fucking.
We did. We walked to the end of our drive,
Okay.
looked about, walked back up it.
Did you stand there with your willy out and freak people out? Like a
I think
crazy
people are going to need context for that. They're just going to think Mark just stands there with no bottom half on his.
No context needed.
No, okay.
No,
Yeah, we'll just leave that open. Viewers can decide,
absolutely.
and listeners can decide why Mark may have his willy out and just be looking.
Exactly. Does anybody have a random fact today?
Again, I don't think I do.
Ali!
You've not had a random fact twice before. Mine just happened to be twice in a row.
What you need to do is
And
make notes on your phone.
But also, I did a random fact for both of us, so you could do me a solid and figure one out for both of us.
Oh, I've got one.
Go on then.
So that was very aggressive. Go on then, bitch. What you got? So Ali and I absolutely love Tim Burton.
Yeah, we do.
So you will often see, like say if you're watching the video, you'll see a lot of black and white stripes around because we love Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Tim Burton always has black and white stripes in some way, shape, or form in his films, and we love them. So that's Ali and Helen centric.
Oh, really? That's
Random
it?
facts. Yeah, because I saw the black and white stripes, and I was like, we like black and white stripes because of Tim Burton.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll give you it because I've got no other fucking option.
Well, there you fucking go then. I thought that was a rather good one because we do. Like
I mean,
our black and white
my
stripes.
joint one for us both was good. About Grandad Richard.
Oh yeah, no, that was quite awful though.
Awful, but yeah.
Oh God, Goobs is writing an essay.
Jesus Christ, mate. So he was in a band in 2018 and they played the same venue 2 weeks before All Time Low did. They wrote on the dressing room wall in marker to All Time Low and they followed them on MySpace.
That's a fucking great random fact.
Yeah.
Oh, MySpace. I thought there was talk of bringing that back.
Don't fuck with me.
There's so many people have said that, like, supposedly it's coming back.
Fucking love MySpace.
I
MySpace was so much better than everything that's going now.
I completely agree.
I learned fucking HTML. I couldn't do it now. You could have like your favourite song or...
Yep.
Oh, I loved it.
It was really good.
Yeah. Like that was the introduction to coding for a lot of us. He saw something about Tom the other day. He retired so early. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. He would have made a fucking fortune. Didn't he sell it to Facebook?
Who's Tom?
And a lot of friends. Tom from MySpace. The guy that invented MySpace who was everybody's... He was everybody's friend.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, there's another Tom we also talk about. Who's the bike person?
Well, yeah, but he didn't invent MySpace.
No. Very nearly said bike something else. Sorry, Tom. Say sorry. Bike
You're not a wanker, Tom.
I didn't say that.
No, but you're about to.
I wasn't.
You literally mentioned the word bike wanker not that long ago.
That was a whole nother episode.
Which we did today as well.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
But what happens in the station stays in the station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We love Tom. Tom is not a bike wanker. He's just a cyclist.
Can you please say about where to find us and stuff?
Have you given up now?
No, I haven't given up, but I've done it the last two, so if you could, I'd love it.
If you happened to enjoy listening to us, you can go listen to us on Spotify, Amazon. Amazon. All the podcast platforms. You can watch us on YouTube. You can go follow us on Instagram over at Carbs the Macabre. Send us an email if you are so inclined. You can share any spooky stories, true crime stories. If there happens to be links with cars, that'd be even better. That's over at carsofthemacabre@gmail.com. Thank you very much to Mark at Park Lane Studios. You fucking god you. Making us sound professional even when the content isn't.
Which is most of the time.
Mm.
And he does our video as well.
Yeah.
Sound, video, all the things.
All the things. But I think, that was everything.
Yeah,
like, share, download, comment, because I do like to read the comments. Even if they're going to be dickish, I'll just laugh at you.
It's fine. Talk about us. We don't care how.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You're talking about me, not to me, so,
Yeah. All right, then. So, until next time, stay spooky, bitches.